everyone, and thank you for joining us today on our Velosio Viewpoint Live. My name is Sabrina Zamera. I run the marketing department here at Velosio. I'm joined by Britt, and I'll let her give a quick intro of herself.
Hey, I'm Britt Pangrel, and I'm newer to the Velosio team, or Velocians, as we like to call ourselves. And I'm on the sales team, focused primarily on the Dynamics Customer Engagement, or CRM product.
Fantastic. We are so excited to be here with you today talking about one of my favorite events of the year, probably my number one event. And I bet Britt would echo that sentiment. We're here to talk about Dynamic Communities Summit happening this October 13th through 17th in San Antonio, Texas. Britt, what are you looking forward to about this year's summit?
Oh, I'm just so excited to go. I think, like most people, the pandemic doesn't feel like that long ago for me, and missing out on all of those in-person events and just being able to get back in person with the community each year, I don't take it for granted anymore. And honestly, I've been just perusing the agenda because they've published the agenda now, and there are so many sessions happening at the same time that I want to go to. So I think I'm just really excited for all the learning opportunities, probably primarily around Copilot, because everything AI really gets me jazzed right now. What about you?
Yeah, I feel like that is definitely going to be a big trend that we see this year at Summit, is not just Copilot and AI and what the functionality is, but I'm really excited to hear more about how are real businesses using this technology today. What are the real world use cases that we can look for? And I want to walk away with knowing how I can use it in the marketing role and how we can use it between sales and marketing to be stronger and better at what we're trying to achieve.
No, absolutely. I've been a long time Summit attendee. When I was posting about this live today, I was just thinking back to my first Summit, and I was at an end user, and I felt like it was, obviously it's expensive to go, right? But it was the best spend as far as dollars were concerned. I learned so much. And at the time, the company I was working for, we had both Dynamic CRM, but we were also implementing Nav at the time, which I'm dating myself because now it's obviously Business Central. And the ability to go to sessions in different tracks. And I love that they've adjusted it now so that they've got sessions that cross over products, because obviously it's a platform. I really think it's just a really good use of educational funding that you might have for your role. And I still have notebooks of things that I've learned and the people I've met. So I don't know, I'm really excited.
That's wonderful. And I think that's a perfect segue into the fact that today, you mentioned the cost. Today is the last day to purchase the All Access Pass for $17.99. So if you are thinking about going to Summit and you haven't purchased that pass yet, today is a great opportunity to do that before prices increase. And we'll give you a little extra incentive as well. If you sign up using the code Velosio10, you will save 10% on your overall registration. So now is the time to get signed up and to make sure you use that code and save yourself a little bit of cash.
No, absolutely. I think it's totally worth the price too. And just make sure you rest up, right? For Summit, because it is a long day. Sessions start at 8 a.m. and then there's always an event or a party or something in the evening, and you want to make sure that you're ready to go for those sessions and stuff every day.
Well, and as Britt and I were talking about this live today and what we were going to talk about related to Summit, she's like, they have a puppy lounge, and I was like, yeah. What? This sounds like the great place to rest up and relax at Summit. I want to be on the expo floor. I want to be hanging out with those puppies. What a fun idea.
Yeah, Sabrina, considering you're in charge of marketing, why didn't we think of puppies at our booth?
I feel like this could be a future thing. I
Why did the budget increase by so much? Well, it's taking into account the puppies. Yeah.
We just had to bring the puppies into the mix. Yeah, I'm so excited. I just think the best part to me, outside of the education and learning about the new ISVs that are out there, or reconnecting with ISVs that maybe you haven't for a while, is just the community. Especially if you're a first-time person there. For me, it's making those connections with people and the people that you meet, and you form these kind of lifelong Microsoft channel friends. I just think that that's a fantastic part about Summit? Like what advice do you have for people who are new, or maybe it's their first time attending?
No, that's a really good point. I have been going for a long time now, and I love when you build those friendships and those relationships and you just have like a quick question, or maybe you need some advice, or you'd like to see how they're leveraging the tools in their business. I know we talked a little bit about Copilot, but that's true for any sales organization, any marketing team. I mean, I love to hear the like tips and tricks sessions and just kind of meeting those people. And then when you get back to the office and it didn't all soak in, right? Because it's like overload of knowledge, you just can kind of follow up with those people. So yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, you're a first time speaker this year.
That's true. That's true.
Good news, you're not doing it alone.
That's right.
What are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, let's talk about the sessions, right? So there are tons of sessions Britt mentioned earlier, and as she just alluded to, Britt and I will be presenting our own session on Dynamics Duo, bridging sales and marketing for elevated success. And don't let this stop you from attending. Our session is at 8 a.m., but we're going to be there. We're going to be loud and proud and excited to tell you everything about D365 CE. But the Velosio team is definitely representing at this year's summit. We have 10 additional sessions on top of the one led by Britt and myself that cover Business Central, project operations, finance, Dynamics GP, data, Copilot. So a lot of really great sessions from us and from a lot of additional presenters from across other organizations and experts in the software as well.
No, I'm so excited. And this is such a stellar lineup, just looking at the names that are presenting. I know Ashish is our resident Microsoft MVP, who we adore. And I get to do some demos with him on Copilot and customer engagement, customer service stuff sometimes. And just getting to watch him present is really a treat. So, and same with Trey, like getting to hear Trey talk about data. He makes Microsoft Fabric sound like something I actually could manage, but let's get serious. Like,
I love that. I love that. I do want to also mention a couple other of our favorite events or things that are happening. I don't know, Britt, do you want to talk about the Women in Tech Luncheon?
Sure. So I've met so many wonderful women attending this specific event each year. I think they're going to do it like they did last year, where it's inside the expo hall and you just grab lunch and kind of take a seat. And then they had a panel. But it's just a really nice discussion on supporting women in technology. Allies welcomed as well, they always say. And talking about how we can lift women up, look for mentors, just, really build women in STEM and women in tech in the area. And I like it for the networking side of things too, right? Just getting like-minded ladies together to talk about how we tackle our days, I suppose.
I love that.
And you hadn't been. So I was shocked to know that, because you've been going to Summit for a while now and you've never been to it.
I have, but I'm usually in the booth, talking to clients, talking to vendors, just, have never made it. But this year I'm going to make it a point to make it to that Women in Tech lunch.
I'll pull you out of the booth. We can have Michael can run it.
Yes, I love that. But, the event that I definitely have never missed and will never miss is the big party happening at Summit. This is always the greatest night of the event. This year, it looks like we're going to be down on the Riverwalk. There's a concert. They're going to have food there. They're going to have drinks. And it's just going to be fun to network and relax and just get to know people on a personal level as well.
Yeah, I will say I'm glad that our session is before this. Last year, I had an 8 a.m. session the morning after the big party.
Oh, no.
It was a little sparse. But no, everyone should be pretty fresh. Our session's on Tuesday morning. So
yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Well, we would be amiss here if we also didn't mention, we have all the speakers from Velosio, but we are also a gold sponsor of the event. So we do encourage you to come by our booth, say hello. Britt and I will be there along with many other members of the Velosio team. And I'm going to put up this code one more time so you can remember if you get registered anytime between now and Summit, please use that Velosio 10 code to save yourself 10% off your conference registration. Yeah, we talked about a lot. We talked about the fun events, the things you're looking forward to, tips for first timers.
Oh, yeah, attend the first timer session. I love that. It's on the first day, October 13th. and they have it by track. So, if you're primarily there to learn more about CRM, or you're primarily focused on F&O or Business Central, you can go by track. But I do like that first timer meeting and reception, because it's just a nice way to kind of break the ice and get a few friends. And then I would say my second piece of advice is, don't be afraid to go to a session that you think might be a challenge for you, right? Because they list on all the sessions who the audience is and kind of what the level will be. But everyone there is super nice, and all of the speakers are volunteering and they're happy to answer questions. But that was my favorite way of learning, is by attending a session that was maybe like one level above where I thought I was, to push myself. And I ended up understanding more than I thought. So that might
I love that.
I
think that's
do you have like a hot take?
I love that. I mean, that's really how you learn and how you grow. And that's really what Summit is really all about, right? I don't know if I have a hot take like that. Anything that's a stretch yourself. I would say, when you're in the expo hall, make it a point to really meet new businesses, meet new partners, find out what they bring to the table, find out what the ISVs bring to the table. I feel like every year when I go to Summit, there's new add-on solutions that I didn't know existed. And it's like, wow, this could really change, the game for people who need this functionality. So I think that is a great time to learn about what the options are that are out there for you.
Yeah, I agree. And I like attending both the ISV sessions to that point, just to kind of expand and explore what's new, so that your business is sending you there. So it isn't just for personal learning, right? It's what you can bring back to support your company. But I also like really attending the Microsoft sessions too, right? To hear, as I like to say, from the mothership themselves. And there's just always little nuggets I walk away that I can use either personally in my work every day, or that I can share with my team that I think are really helpful. And I like attending the sessions. I know what they say, oh, you're a salesperson, you're just going to go sit at the booth. And I'm like, no, I really enjoy some of the learning opportunities and getting to see how other people are leveraging the product, or in real life. Yeah, that's what, we heard is great, but this is how our team has expanded the usage of that. Or this is maybe like a hang up, or a hot tip, as I like to say, that we use to kind of get over a hurdle or something that might be in the system. So that's the kind of stuff you don't get unless you're in the session.
Right. I love that. And I think that's a great suggestion to go to those ISV sessions. I'll give a little plug here for Avalara. They just came to our sales team in-person meeting.
Yep.
And I always learn something interesting from their sessions that I use to like trivia with my friends, right? Like we just learned like tax is different for a whole bagel versus a sliced bagel. And I'm like, who would have ever thought that? And I'm like, now I just keep that in my repertoire of facts about tax, thanks to them.
So I knew that because my first job was at Panera, and I used to be the one slicing those bagels. But yeah, I loved hearing about like the Nexus laws and geeking out over that stuff. And then also knowing that I personally don't have to manage that for my business.
Right.
So, yeah, Avalara is great. I also really liked what we learned from XFlow and their product, and Sign Up Genius. Is that what it's called?
Sign Up Software. Yeah.
It looks really cool. And then same with SPS Commerce. And honestly, the ISVs usually have the best swag.
That is true.
They just do. And so it's go talk to them, go learn about it. Yeah, to your point, I always learn something new. And then every time I'm on the phone with a client, it's like, oh, hey, I actually know what it means to talk about Nexus in these states, services versus, products and things like that. So they're good at sharing their info.
Speaking of Velosio clients, if you are a client of Velosio, please make sure to let us know that you're attending. Yeah. We want to meet up with you while you're there. We have a lot of our account managers who are going to be there. A lot of consultants are going to be there. Would love to connect with you, learn about how we can continue to help you and make sure that you achieve long-term success. So we'd love to meet up with you there. Anything else, Britt, that we want to make sure people know about Summit?
It's worth it. I would just say it's worth it. I personally rearrange my family's calendar to make sure we can go every year. And I'm really excited to be presenting with you. So let us know if you need help making a business case. Use the discount code. Obviously, that'll really help. And the number of sessions, just looking at it is kind of daunting, which is exciting. That there's just so much, no matter kind of what your focus is as a business leader or as an end user in there. Yeah.
I love that. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you in Texas, Britt, in just a couple months. And I hope that the rest of you who are watching us will join us there as well, and make sure you stop by and say hello to us. All right.
Awesome.
Until next time. Thanks.